my God. Date on project install the swim spa. So we have ripped out the deck where we need the deck ripped out. And we just got through using the wackadoodle here to pack the dirt where the slab is going to go. And the next step is pouring the slab. Take a gander at this. Alright, so look at how sketchy this thing is. This is an old NiCad side grinder that I took apart, and I connected it, and then I ripped the same NiCad drill apart. I took a charger for one of the new lithium batteries, connected a switch to it, conduit. Now we have the lazy man's cutoff. All right, project swim spa commencing. So we just got it delivered, or got it delivered a few days ago. We've got our band around the perimeter of the porch for our decking. We just dug our 24-inch trench with the ditch witch. We've got our conduit laid all the way. To the breaker box. Now we're fixing to tie into the swim spa with the 220. Okay, so filling the spa. This is a hallmark moment. That's an important thing. We had to distribute the flow of water so it didn't overflow the filter inlets. This is exciting. All right, here's another great example of necessity is the mother of invention. So we got to move this 1,500-pound swim spa, and it's practically impossible for a human being to do it. We need to move it this way, laterally. So I cut a board here to keep it from twisting, and then I've got a hydraulic automotive jack over here with a board cut to length. And now we're going to see what happens when we give it the stank. So look at that.
It's moving.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Okay.
It's still touching these boards as well.
And I can see the gap up there, so we're perfect. This is how we ended up squaring everything up. So you see these lines? What we did is we measured from the house over on the far end and got our measurement. Then we came over here and measured from this part of the concrete to here, and then snapped a line across all the boards, and then marked all of our cuts. Now we're going to go back through, cut them all off, reattach our outside plate, and then that should square everything up in theory. Getting posts square is hard, especially when you need them to be in a perfect line. The trick is to use a plumb bob. If you don't have a plumb bob, you can use your snap line. Just hang it from where it's supposed to be, and then that's where you dig. So phase 43 or whatever, we just finished framing the bulk of the porch that surrounds the swim spa. Now we're fixing to pour a little slab to terminate the steps. You know, you can't have wood touching ground directly or it'll rot. So we're prepping the surface. Alright, so now that we've got it level diagonally, you know, in all directions, like this, we can remove this back piece. We are wrapping up the framing phase, which was by far the longest and most complicated phase. And you can see there's actually 4 sections to this bad boy. You got section over here. This one has to be perpendicular with the spa, which took a while. We actually had to maneuver the spa into place using a jack. And then we built these other 2 sections sort of independently. You can see the transition points where the 2x6s meet. And getting all of this stuff square was difficult, to say the least. And you can see how we ended up terminating these joists, and they're going to learn that all the composite decking's going to run. So we just did the steps. We're going to deface it with this lattice. So we're building a little door, an access to go up underneath this. We're using this pressure treated 2x2 and 1x2. We're sandwiching this lattice in between it. You'll see the finished results post haste. Here's the little door, finished the little door. And as you notice, we had to put a little angle on the dangle so that it would slope up, contour into the to the ground. But it's also friction fit, so you don't even have to use any. You can see we put a little casing inside to stop it, and also these are the posts that I ended up reusing. I had them stretching all the way across, but the customer didn't want them obstructing the view, so we salvaged it and reused it here for the handrail. It could certainly be tightened up a little bit, and here's my ingenious strategy to keep the post from bending. I just put a little self-tapping screws in there, and it actually works. It loosened up throughout the process, but you can see this is certainly an afterthought. I had to sort of reinvent the wheel here to get it all to fall into place, but the customer likes it, and I think it looks pretty dadgum cool. So here she blows. This is the finished product. We got the steps going up, the decking. I ended up having to do 3 to make the 2 runs. So we had 2 16s exactly this way. And then this enclosure that I didn't build, somebody else did. But there's one aspect of this that I'm particularly proud of, and that's all the calculations that we did to make sure that this decking ended up flush with the top of this. So we planned the slab height and then the height of this. We actually saw it at a home show and I measured it there to get the decking to fit flush underneath that. So that's a pretty cool deal. And then we laid this out so it would be 16 footer here and then a 12 footer there exactly. So we didn't have to use a bunch of scab together and splice pieces of wood like they did on this ratty side. And then the actual pool is pretty dang cool too. Let me crank it up so you can see what I'm talking about. We're draining it right now. It's the deal, you swim against the current and you adjust the flow of her with these valves. It redirects the pressure. But that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're in the area and you want to have one built, you can contact Hometown Workforce and we'll even siphon them out for you. Till next time. And then we got this, one of my more finer moments, the switch. So the customer can just switch it off and avoid the headaches that it causes. It is noisy and irritating. Look at that, like magic.